Hi guys and girls, Shane Stevenson again, and just like in the steward's berth, we got Tim Nesmith, ship superintendent here. Or is it boat superintendent?
What's that?
Is it boat superintendent? Ship superintendent, sorry. So this is another one of those areas that has great differences between the Sullivans and the Kidd, or Kidd. Double ladder, Sullivans has a ladder going aft. So we have the one ladder going this way, one ladder going down aft, and this one goes forward. This apparently was a Cold War modification. Tim, do you want to step in and talk a little bit about your ladder, the way it is, and the life that it went through to this point?
Sure. This all was done before I got aboard Kidd in '95. From what I gathered from talking with Tim Rizzuto and talking with Nathan Bergeron, we had the same setup that Sullivans did, same Cold War setup.
So you had the Cold War setup like we did?
One ladder forward,
Gotcha.
one ladder aft.
Yep.
Yeah, some of our crew members get confused when they come back and see this. But to go back, once they said we're going to August 1945 configuration, that's our target, then they got to work making the back fitting, just like we backfit the steward's berthing in this evolution. So they took out the ladder going aft, they sealed the deck up here, they sealed the bulkhead down below, separating the two crew spaces. And then Nathan, if you haven't met him, just master at metalwork. The dude is just an artist. And he got to work widening out this watertight combing pass-through to fit two ladders, and working off of blueprints, working off of pictures, got the correct curvature. They had one hatch, that would watertight hatch, that would come down and seal it up. They went out in the reserve fleet somewhere, they found another watertight hatch, or perhaps they got the watertight hatch that was at the old location, and then he cut them and brought them together and welded them up, ground it smooth. You see no like weld marks to where it comes together, except maybe here, but I'm not sure how exactly that worked. That may have been what he did. He just cut it into multiple sections and put it together, but basically took two and made one.
I was going to say, those
it
skulls.
seals up and everything.
Yeah. And this is an aftermarket, but taking it back to its original configuration.
Right.
So we have kept it at the Sullivans, we have kept it here.
Which is correct for your configuration.
Which is correct for our configuration.
Yeah.
So it's one of those unknown unknowns until now it becomes a known known.
Right.
Right? It just so happenstance that since we're choosing 62, that is the correct configuration going aft into our S division here, and down here leads to our E division. Also going down below, which we don't have to do, you have a door on port that connects to that other berthing.
Right.
Aft.
And one on starboard.
And one on starboard.
Yes.
So ours, I'm going to have to verify, we don't have the door.
Okay.
We do have a locker there now, so they probably welded it shut. And for our purposes, we put a display locker right in that corner.
Right.
So when I get back, I'm going to verify to see if there's weld marks, because this is now the way down to our S division.
And that would make sense if they sealed one of them up, because you have the ladder coming from C204 coming up to here. This ladder handles C203, and so you only have one pass-through. And I would theorize the whole reason why they made these mods. With this configuration, C204 has only two possibilities for an exit: going aft into another space, 205, and going up that single ladder, or coming on both sides, coming into 203, and these guys are already trying to get out at battle stations, and you're adding and clogging up that room, being able to get out in quick egress. So they gave them each a ladder and two exit points.
Right.
So
yes, because you can go out, right,
can go
the
back.
single ladder on,
Right.
on the stern, We do have the 2 doors, once you go into the space here, leading into the most aft berthing space, where the, then you just go back and there's this aft steering compartment. We do have both doors leading from this space into that space, which can lead out or here.
Right, but you're going to clog up if that's the only egress. So giving them an egress to 205, giving them an egress to 203, and giving them their own individual egress smooths the traffic jam a little bit. So that's my theory.
Yes,
I don't know if
but we don't have that's what I'm thinking is we don't. I mean, it's one of those things you just look at all the time. So we don't have either door here.
No doors.
No
Going
door.
to 203.
No door.
Okay.
Oh,
No, I'm not up here though. Not these
Down
doors
below.
right here. Down below.
gotcha.
So that is the way out, or here,
This
the egress,
ladder
and
on.
the aft, going through the 2 into the most aft berthing, and then up to the stern. And here. Yeah, because now this is our E division. I'm down there quite a bit. No door over here. No door over here. So now I'm going to verify and check to see if there's the weld nut, to make sure that we have those doors down below.
Archaeological evidence.
Yes, you got it.
They really Tetris these things, left and right in the Cold War.
And the
whatever they
shipyards.
Yeah.
We were in Boston, for a while.
I'm out of
Do you know the shipyards post-war that you visited?
This is the only shipyard I've ever visited.
You're right.
Yeah.
The ship visited.
The ship,
Like in 60 or 59.
she was in San Diego for the most part during the 50s.
Okay.
And in the 60s, she visited Norfolk and Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah, we were in Boston and mostly in the Atlantic. 2nd Fleet, 6th Fleet, Mediterranean. So were you doing Westpac or
Did
Fleets?
Westpac all 51 through, Korea 51, 52,
Sure.
and early 53, and then from 53 to 59 doing Westpac out of San Diego.
Okay.
And then 59 she transferred over to the Atlantic, and from there she was home ported in Philly. She called on Norfolk a lot, and then like Sullivan's, she was a school ship at Newport for a while at the destroyer school.
Yeah, absolutely. So we spent most of our time post-Korea. We did an around-the-world cruise, 4 months in Korea, and that took us to 53, and then we just really much stayed on the Eastern Seaboard. So yeah, maybe those follow-on yards that they would go through throughout the 50s might do their own set of work. And as you said, the original part of it was the zigzag, the tetrising of each of the ships. So this is a really exciting, I have to continue to try and look at this, but I know down below there are no doors on port and starboard, but there are, when you go down this hatch, there are just like your configuration there. Tim, can't thank you enough.
Hey.
I mean, this has been a great trip. Just seeing the ship finally with my own eyes is such an eye-opener, and I can't thank you enough.
Hey, now you know why my mind was blown when I visited you in 23, and why is this here? What
We
happened
just
here?
switched. And then I wanted to go home because I worked a 13-hour day, and Tim was like, let's stay a little bit longer, And now I know why, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, one fleet, we work together constantly, we bring
Absolutely.
Buzz in, and Steve from the Cass and Young, 3 remaining American Fletchers, we all need to be together and work together and tell one linear story, and that's what we're beginning to do.
And we need to get Velos in the group
and the
too.
Velos in the group. So if
Yeah.
anyone speaks Greek, shoot us an email in Greek, and we can just ship it on, because maybe I'll get to Thessaloniki. That would be nice if
Let
I
me
can
know,
do
I'll
that.
go with you.
All right, sounds good. And
Road
you know
trip.
what? Thank you very much for all of your support. And as always, we will see you again soon.